for makwaba ediba a POG political highway. So I see a brace and say update and also about a highway. So near the say the abidja for more POG so a bebo at the rasa and see me no more who no matter the coso about my gun. Nebusia as an bebo at the rasa and see me. Message subscribe to a POG Media. Share go I need the so drop subscription. Now I see the notification bell. No said it. Once I bet me a daily update. Now I like it. Now I share no for so. And who no matter the coso over my gun. Now, some bay number two that and some about two that a year. Párd0n a year you run another down qua a diama a year nipa a year to Bawumia coming up a year at forcing a year capital bank a CEO now on also Párd0n not to say a coming up or can't be now we not in some about two that if I a Párd0n a year you run another down qua using the last office a Párd0n a year nipa 11 no. Akuffo can say a year sa CEO of capital bank out to say or Párd0n no to say okowura if you ask no only 1 year mpo nti esi den mpo na otimi a Párd0n na amanfo so say or Párd0n no say dey be ya we cover the tracks say iskana CEO no area ewo capital bank no one no na say ono so omokoche na percentages such say on say obeti ne 20 wa Párd0n no abusua me say be gibre na ya bo e dey area sansi mi dase
ma a friend is a presidential pardon 11 convicts Oshimwa Owura a friend no William Atu Essíén no a former CEO for the defunct Capital Bank no a sentence no October 2023 to 15 years imprisonment for financial crimes including the embezzlement of 620 million Ghana cedis in liquidity support from the Bank of Ghana, no, despite agreeing so between 90 million Ghana cedis, no. President Apane no say yenja no ombra no betena fie ene enkofo edua eka ho. Asem we wujine say.
Akuffo Addo no ankasa wunim de ha no ade bie nu ho ya efa kwan mu. Ade bie nu ho ya efa kwan mu. And sometimes some no can we be say be a personality no entisa. You see, let me admit to say the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, Emma President the power, that prerogative, to exercise that prerogative power of mercy. And no, or home crime, so let us not take that away from him. So, or exercise that particular basic discretion because in that cry, so US, Biden, Párd0n, one of the saying, September 11th attackers in about a command sweet deal be a pressure America for the man no and yard the ketwa. Anti president in exercising that particular power no our right to do that. But the question they said, so where Ato Essíén case na? I one of the case I get a lot of political saying attention Akroma. Why? Because ne sentencing no by after this whole banking sector cleanup, consequences also. And yamu binum advocate say, here say yebegu banks no. And that there are several ways nka yebe to me afa na ya recapitalize the bank na ya making sure say you put these banks on its feet without necessarily not having to collapse this bank. But President Akuffo Addo catch that and say, looking at the state of these banks, the only way they say you be good banks in so you could come on my sika 21 billion and yeah this particular as a banking sector whatever that good. So one of the chief architect in this particular enterprise but they are telling us debt restructuring and as for this banking sector tsunami no it won't be. So it means that per the description of the president, this Ato Essíén is one of the biggest criminal we've seen in recent times. Because the doings and now resulting in this whole bank financial sector, your friends say mess up. So the president justified why it is important for the gentleman to go to jail. I'm making an assumption based on Samana Ekoso. Enti sa nipa ba ku we waje atum se enam ne so and all the banking sector woes na yenya no nyina no enam ne so amana ba na ohawa Ghana na mu nyina ye because of one ato Essíén enti court wadi na asem de na kwhye prison. Dr. Ren enka nipa sa na banking all the banking sector troubles no on him no on the source of all the troubles, all the financial woes na yenya no okoda prison 1 year my the same president goes back and says my Párd0n. It means that when I fast so I did Pl0t go to jail no, he knows very well that he didn't deserve to go to jail. So passing him this particular mercy card, not because at that point they needed to hang somebody just to appease the public. And that guy appeared as a sacrificial lamb, as a sacrificing no. And the time no beso na ya Párd0n no. Na fe ya friend is saying asem de na sem ko. So we forget about this whole banking sector mess na course no. That is how I see this situation. Because I would see Pl0t say yes, he was involved in 1 or 2 stuff, but nema na oye ye no. Eye wan kasa wo so for Otabel. Eye bi Otabel kwaje bosia ne church kwaje bosia sika na ye de amom so mfanya recapitalization no omobo no bosia, none of them paid the money. Board of directors and other individuals omo decisions contributed to the fall of this particular bank in the mess up. But at the end of the day, conveniently no, all these people no yamfo bianco age catch and say was study all the document fact available in as for na those people no and they say yeah trial mo. But I was thinking Zenka court let's say man in that particular discretion to decide whether these people are a candidate for jail or not. But through convenience, age took all these people out after Akuffo saying Kujina court and one other person. So at the end of the day, so we yes, I never one kasa upiao be uniform at this time when Nippon 1 year. I am saying this because of the gravity of the purported crime the whole Akuffo government hang on this gentleman. Because banking sector crisis na can the kitwa. The unemployment create the mess can who be and then everywhere economic status and then junk and then as a form no because there was a mess up as we speak. The banking sector not even coming up to life. And let's assume without admitting say Akuffo indeed the chief engineer of this whole criminal deal I put to the entire financial sector in this quagmire. Then what is the justification of President Dikwa in free prison after barely less than 1 year? Again, it is either the guy wasn't guilty, but rather he was sacrificed. And now this is the time to appease him. And it's the reason why they are bringing him out. Because there are a lot of concerns that people expressed about Kwanya prison. And the whole banking sector approach in for which it didn't even make sense. Because almost say those people have willfully caused financial loss to the state. I am thinking Akuffo and the AG, through some of the decisions that they've taken, they have rather foolishly caused financial loss to the state. And they need to answer for those crimes. Oh, I think that I'm not surprised. But for others, President is within his remit. The Constitution gives him that particular power through prerogative power of mercy to exercise. And in the exercise of honor, and I'm like, I did obey on ye. Now, you take Akroma medal, of course, some medals woo. Your friends at Pl0t num como Akroma say. And no one casa.
Of course, I made a go home Pl0t. Why the Pl0t?
And yeah, how Akumsen. Obabasia obotu man the banyina Bobby. And these people, their dealings have left a scar on the conscience of our democracy. A scar, a level, an indelible imprint on our democracy. The president had the guts and the audacity to assemble these criminals. That is why I'm saying, no kind of us or the name, no. So we are normal person, it will be very difficult for you to understand. Because I fact the entire government setup now person will be abaswa. There are individuals aboard my baso biankasa. but the people who have consistently meddled themselves up in partisan politics. Partisan politics, they have violent tendencies in the for the more. So there is the need to isolate these people out and award people who will be embraced by Ghanaians. But he does this award, and the following day, the whole thing was trending on social media because he has done the unusual thing again. Because how do you justify say what the medal of your friend saying order way of voter
order of voter
akakoto how akumsi nkomo Bawumia somebody our call election will lose in a very devastating way. Economy na ya de share in some economy na junk. So at the end of then you come to the president himself. The most insulting and the most annoying part has to do with Addison or Bank of Ghana, only 2 deputies. Dr. Ren, Akuffo, you see, from day one, he has been insulting Ghanaians from day one. And going away, I felt Sankasabi, Obesuya Bibiana Nuhubi. We are talking about a man, Addison American Assemi, the governor of Bank of Ghana. 1 year. The gentleman supervised a loss of about 60 billion Ghana cedis in 1 year. 60 billion Bank of Ghana a recorded loss. Again, he turned Bank of Ghana into a printing press. And they print sika. You buy a hosana inflation and 53. This is his track record. Wakako see building, Kasia building, a home account to cranny and some fofro. At the time, bank go through the worst financial period. Now you board members 500 million each. 500 million each. And they do this silly stuff. And no crack who been a bina lusu. A can who been a magana for buofu. And the president will have the audacity to call these people in public and put medals around their neck. H0w how are Omu Ghana for? And Onyanse Saye, Akuffo na munim na nrano, or no ane obey ochina Akuffo. Sa faru akuma Nebukadnezar subaina Omuni pamferi nipa de eso ye no no obey no. Is the reason why he does this thing. So what is a Ghana for a kasa? And yes, be the time no near na oye no. Because Dr. Ranza, we are very smart and you are very intelligent and you are exercising presidential powers. You need to exercise those powers with the uttermost of discretion, tainted with wisdom, tainted with concerns a public no ebe express. Sebeya we are there na nipa enya ho asem nka. Asanka nyo na first person wa award amamfo ye. Enra Biden awarded some distinguished individuals in the White House. Me ankasa me player Lionel Messi eko GB, Washington Denzel eko GB, and several other people. These are distinguished individuals. At the end of the day, you go on Fox News, you go on CNN, you go on Brevet, you go on Washington Way. They are praising them because these are individuals.
Someone like you, media, message somebody like you, media. Now someone shares who are share no phones to me account. So no matter the echo to my Ghana, a yaman you see more. Now, instead of a shigu, you come here, you run an out down what you say. A can last day, not just to me, a crown, a beco party or the bebo, a fiasia, and also a cock Pard0n, some criminals via a Ghana for so a Chinesrenia Bassa, Chese, near Pard0n your party, go for Pard0n, not to say. Any coin seka or Pard0n and Akuffo for her nanka or bit me and this are Pard0n no at their moment. We are meant to say, but to us on their board at the Rassans in
they truly deserve it. But how Akumsen, H0w, the people have passed their.
What about Abu Jinaponso?
Abu Jinapo, now he was in charge of your friends saying the
lands and natural resources.
Yes. And you see, that particular sector, no, and the most, I can't find the right words to describe it. Because prior to the election, Adiabakwanda Ghana for has to do with the Galamsey, and the gentleman was in charge. So you see, consciously, Akuffo decided to award these individuals Ghana for free, say, or more papa, no, just to shame some of us. more kind of that was the whole essence of that particular thing. That was the whole essence of that thing. And he had the gut to put medals on his neck as well. Ono ankasa. Because Makata say about one Ghana for 2 years, no.
Oh, na say a jabonus in the crown. One more say is the most the Ghanaian successful Ghanaian. Just body a born any day. Na is one of the most, I mean, the best leader Ghana enya under the Fourth Republic.
Omo bobo Adam. Because Ghana hana yet no. I can tell you on record, Akuffo is the worst president under this Fourth Republic. Even if you were standing to Akroma time, who doesn't know this? Who? Nobody on his right senses will fight this particular thing. That is a fact. It is not about hatred. It is not about being penasem. The things that the gentleman did the last 8 years, the records are there to show. And for you to vindicate this position, look at the electoral results. On the most look at the outcome. Defeat, most of in the history of this country, no president, no government, and has suffered such humiliating defeat in the history of this country. So what are they talking about? And if you want us to go through Nema or we can run through. Which sector any bit had he distinguished himself.
Education sector.
Media. You saw the free SHS, the numbers he put out 5.7 million, which was a lie because data from Bank of Ghana and SPK said they were less somewhere around 3.1, 3.2 million. Your friend saying enrollment rate. And the over 1.7 now President Kofatos no Konyano H0w, how they've been cooking data over the years.
So it means that the president was not being honest to the Ghanaian.
So another time you know who film or see he was misinformed. And now he was misled. Now President I would have be misled or no. Now say Sabi, you are not on top of your job. Because some of these figures, it's so easy to verify because according to the education ministry, they put out enrollment every year. So you start from 2018, you look at the numbers. It was nowhere close to numbers, no more put it up or not. But you see, I mentioned why he got the 5 million. I mentioned, and they think they are smart. When him say, Mahama can progressive free SHS, no more Kasomoko wholesale. But the wholesale, they started the free SHS with first year 2018 students. So that particular way, I'm affected or more second year, or more third year, or more in your free SHS. So it was the first year 2018 batch, and almost started year. But when they were counting the numbers, they included those things because they created an impression, say, free SHS was on board free SHS. It included everybody. It's the reason why they were able to smuggle the 2 batches and numbers in to inflate the numbers. And numbers in a way, don't forget, say it's not just a uti keke. That is the number they've been using for budgeting everything.
So which means you say if we are going with what you were saying, which means say president budget no or the sound numbers in there, then it means you say si kasem no ye de ko suku komu say you was shortage there, then it means say sika ye de bebre akọ eba ne sanso a ekoba ne say na students ne kra no esa complain with aduane a wo mudi. One would have thought to say ekoba ne say kra there, then it means say esa komunya aduane e healthy because they will have more money to even spend.
Yes, say sika no nko. They hold the money. Sika no wo mo ankasa omo ho nti ye frɛ regional woman organizer ko supply aduane mo omo.
Our numbers can be bottom instead of
yes. Exactly. I buy society so we say Charles for the letter about thing. Me sure so what chance on that letter.
Me who am letter no.
For the past 8 years, what's so my complaint over baby. Bansa buying society they are calling say government should go and pay their money. Because Nana Nebukadnezar what the letter bar obasa kill and I say you bet they will put a target at your back. So everybody was quiet until, say, this particular thing happened. So you see, this whole free SHS mantra being peddled, it was a fraud thing because it did not actually reflect what was happening on the ground, Dr. Ren. And their whole education policy was limited to SHS. Nana Akuffo, so what's your presentation now? Oh yeah, Nana. He never said anything about your friends primary, JSS, or tertiary.
The basic education one shut down.
No, I don't any business because he was in to harvest the political capital. So that is interest. But my culture said the most crucial aspect of education, for so far as I'm concerned, is the basic level. Because our Akroma na when you forever or you're done.
And we were told that the basic education, children go school without even having the textbook. Teachers don't have the textbook, but the textbooks as a supplement, a young Quran and Komukofi and KBO revision based on the textbooks. No more need be to for the president Akuffo at the time you buy. It means that they deny the Ghanaian child of the textbooks and go bit me a coffee no revising and question na informing a year a friend is saying subjects now or per se or what was school.
Yes, because textbooks, the secret is oh, this country I've forgotten. I'll find out. Say a mobile printed comprehensive sexual education documents and I gonna for sorry TI. So no more printed books no good there, I'm going to mean check.
So which means to say the reason why in here and Quran textbooks and say they had already had it almost textbooks and including this particular comprehensive. It is a cobab on Tinia by say, Kofoni be introduced, Beman, Bema, Obano, Oba, say the church bodies and other opinion leaders are more affronting on this particular a year. Friend is saying, a year, Beman, Bemano, they will have the voice to speak out.
Yes, and now Akuffo from bar, the partners of this kind of amount, and and they're Kong and the teachers have been teaching for the last 4 years without textbooks. You see, some of these things actually say education now our crisis. And that has been the trump card that President Akuffo projected. And the last time I'm saying actually says so we are free SHS, obviously the numbers will expand. Dr. Ren, when the meaning say school and terminate at secondary school level.
Oh yes.
So if you are seeking to expand secondary school level as a rational, sensible human being, our crafty policy, you also need to have intuition into the future. So at the tertiary level, you think of expanding infrastructure. What is President Akuffo Addo tertiary? So the entire 8 years in the baby.
Debbie.
But who said tertiary? Economy so and economy also. And yet tertiary now we see now also why expand their numbers and I beg Nkuranu we are so no more cotton tertiary no. You see, that is the problem because they were in for the cash. It was about the money.
What you are saying is that Addo's government was in for the cash, not for the people to
No, never. Dr. Ryan, last year I went to Techiman. My classmate, lady beyond Fenreta, not Chradia, one of the your friends saying primary schools, our Techiman. So me call and I say me conversate. Fortunately, me call and I drew Tama and Krano, almost free be no more than Momono. Or more de bromo, and no summons and no coach them here, Dr. Ren. Me say, and we are now Krano dino, what the ma a cry how the move become my cry only. I swear.
Was that bad?
I have some of the pictures on my phone. Was that bad?
Me that's it. So J-Break now J-Penny my POG political highway. Same browser any be political news in go astray. Also let's say the so my God I am on your symbol. Now so subscribe to a POG Media and any day can so make sure drop subscription also watch or hit notification bell na watch na so inside to me account. So once in Caribbean as I've been shaped as well share the comment section or the POG Media. You be kind na so yama my. But that's it. So J-Break my POG.